Okay. Sew on Velcro strips. Here's one out of the package. It is attached. Figure this is going to be the best way to do it. I'm going to glue it down, and I'm going to go all the way around the frame of the window. And I'm doing it on the inside so that when you roll the window up, the screen's on the inside, not the outside. The screen's going to get glued to this. Quick overview. I already did the driver's side. We did that one in Hutchinson. We're now in Brunswick, Georgia, and finally getting around to doing the other side because we realized that cross ventilation is important. But this is the finished product. I've got it just Velcroed on. I keep it Velcroed to the bottom and drive with it like this so that way I'm not having to find a place to put it, constantly carrying it around, but it's very, very simple to tack up once it's on here already. Just run your finger up, attach it to the Velcro, poke in the corner so bugs can't get through. And if you're in a safe space, you can leave your window completely down and get all the airflow you need. If you're someplace where you're not quite so safe feeling and it's a little sketchy, you can roll the window up so far. The van does have an alarm system. If somebody wants to break in, they're going to grab the knob or whatever, open up the door, the alarm will go off. I'm going to grab my knife, I'm going to grab my gun, I'm going to grab whatever, and they're going to be sorry they did it. So, but that's it.
And what glue did you use?
E6000.
And it's been working out great.
It's been working great. Like I said, I did this one in Hutch, and this was done the week after Mother's Day, and it's still holding up just fine. And we've been through rainstorms, and I've had the window open driving 75 miles an hour down the interstate, and the Velcro stays on good. I've been pulling it off and on for however many times I've done it since I put it up there, so it's all good. The only thing you have to watch is if you leave it attached, try not to slam at the door.
Alright.
But it's kind of a pain to do this. It's real easy to glue the Velcro to the window frame, but when it comes time to put the screen up, it gets a little bit tougher because you have to do a little bit at a time because the screen's porous, so the glue's going to seep through, so you kind of have to do a little bit and let it tack up real good before you try to move on to do the rest of it. But once you get it finished up and glued on, I'm going to cut the piece close to the size, and then once all the glue's dry enough, then I'll pull the whole thing down and trim around the Velcro, and then I'll have another setup like I have here.
And we'll show that when we do it.
We'll show that when we do it.
Yep, so right now you're going to go glue the other side.
I'm going to glue the other side and let that sit. It'll probably be tomorrow or the next day before I actually put the screen on, because we're going to have to be someplace where I do it in the morning and let it sit all day before I try and remove it from the window.
Right.
So that's it. Did I mention it's hot out here? Alright, continuing on with the screen installation on the passenger side. I glued the Velcro down with the E6000. It's holding really, really good. I was actually lazy yesterday and didn't finish this. I should have, but it's had extra cure time, so it's all good. I've taken the screen and placed it with tape on the door. The reason why I didn't do it this way is because when I go to glue it in, it's going to push out and the window rolls up on the outside. So I'm doing it from the outside, so when I push the screen in to glue it up to the Velcro, it pushes in, which will keep it away from the window, so the window will roll up and down without catching the screen. So where we're at right now is I am about to get the glue, and this tape is not holding for anything, but I'm going to start the gluing process on the top. And I'm going to have to go a little bit at a time because I'm going to have to hold it until it tacks up and sticks enough to where it will actually stay in place. So this is going to be a time-consuming process. We're not going to film it all, but basically I'm going to start the gluing. I'm going to work my way down all the way and then across the bottom and then back up the side. And hopefully it will look just like the one over there that we showed you.
The one that's hanging that y'all saw.
The one that's hanging that y'all saw on the other video. Yeah. So, okay, so that's where we're at. So semi-finished product. Still need to do a little trimming. Got some excess here that I still need to take off. I did have an issue. Didn't let things cure enough. I did lose a strip right here. I'm going to glue that back up. It's not a big deal. Easy fix. The Velcro is already attached to the screen, so that'll go up. Be all good to go. This is a little bit harder to do than just putting magnets around and attaching, but I do believe that if you want to be stealth, this right here is a little more inconspicuous than having a bunch of magnets with duct tape on them stuck to your door and around your window
Yeah, 'cause
frame.
you can't really see it.
No. And the other thing is, certain applications like this is plastic.
Right.
There won't be any magnets going to stick to that. So where would you'd still have this big open space right here in this particular situation? You wouldn't be able to get that all sealed up anyway. So yeah, it needs to be a little bit better. But
Yep.
like I said, trim this up a little bit.
Yeah.
The other side's good. It's actually worked for a couple of nights, and we haven't had any bugs come in on us, so it's not that big of a deal.
And we've had this window, this one on this side up for...
We've done this, we did this when we were in Hutchinson, so that was around Mother's Day.
And we've driven...
Down the interstate. I've been doing 80, 85 miles an hour with the window down, of course, because we don't have AC. I don't ride with the screen up most of the time, just because it's not really necessary, and I do like to hang my arm out the window sometimes. But screening in your minivan, like I said, it takes a little bit of time. You have to put the glue on, you have to let things cure properly and all that, and it is kind of a pain to glue the screen to the Velcro, but it works. And like I said, we watched a lot of videos on YouTube on how to screen in your van, and everybody was using magnets, and I said, no, it's got to be a better way. And this way, you don't even have to worry about storing it, because you just take off the 3 sides and drop it down, and it's always in place and never goes anywhere.
And, I'm sorry, I had one little thing to add.
Okay.
If you are feeling paranoid that the screen won't hold, on the door, the actual Velcro on the door held great with the glue without any problem. But the screen, if it gives you willies, you can always, once it's glued on, go back with a big needle and a piece of thread and sew it on if you really feel like you need to.
Yeah, you could always go in, needle and thread, and actually stitch.
We haven't needed to do that, though.
We haven't needed to do that. It's the E6000 is a pretty good glue, and we haven't had any issues with it. And it does work great. And now that I've got the other side done, we can have both windows down.
All right. Good?
Now, good on that.
Now, follow up.
Follow up on the water jug. This was a really good idea, and at the time it seemed to work great, but once the water level dropped so far into the jug, because of this hose came on a roll, it was all curled up. You feed the hose down in there, when it goes down it wants to curl back up. So once the water level drops, the end of the hose is out and you lose your prime. In order to remedy that, pretty simple little fix. I don't know if I can get it, because it's just sitting down in there. Anyway, there is, I'm not going to be able to get to it. I'm going to have to dump the jug to get the pipe out. But what I did is I bought a piece of 1/2-inch PVC potable grade pipe. You can also use a piece of copper pipe if you would rather use copper as opposed to PVC, but I washed it real good with soap and water and rinsed it, cut it to fit so it just drops right down inside the jug, and then I feed the hose into the PVC pipe, and that keeps the hose straight all the way down to the bottom, so I can take this thing to complete empty without losing a prime. So that being said, if you go this route, whether you're using an electric pump or a hand pump, it would work either way. Something rigid inside your jug, like PVC or a piece of copper pipe, to hold the tubing so that it goes all the way down, so you don't have it curl around and lose your prime. So there you go.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Can you have a little more enthusiasm than that?
Goodbye.